Hello everybody, welcome. Okay, let's have a short chat about Meghan's photographs. I actually cannot be bothered, but it is a distraction from the United States and Iran. I mean, have you ever been sad and angry at the same time? Well, that is how I feel. So I would much rather talk about Meghan's Instagram photographs. Okay, now photo number 1. What an awful photograph. I understand that it is supposed to depict how happy they are. But if I was Meghan, I would have chosen a different one. Harry looks healthy for a change, but old olive oil next to him, not so much. She has to stop with that tight, slick back hair immediately. Not even a ponytail. If she wants to keep it out of her face, I recommend she uses a covered Alice band or, one of those stretchy cloth headbands. Meghan's hairline is receding badly, and in this photograph, her bald spots are also showing. I know why Meghan is oiling her hair down. It is likely frizzing at the ocean and on the beach, and God forbid anyone can see her 43%. Having said that, the wet look is indeed nothing new, and celebrities like Kim Kardashian and Rihanna sports it regularly. But look at Rihanna's hair here. There's definitely product in her hair to achieve that wet look, but her hair still looks shiny and clean. Now look at Meghan's. It looks like she used old motorcar oil. There are a magnificent range of different products, and all you have to do is read the damn box to choose the right one. The best advice is to use a product with maybe a bit of a lesser hold and then to give it a once over with hairspray. That will do the exact same thing. You really do not need to use Grandpa's Brill cream or old motor oil. Then it is also obvious that she has gained some more really deep wrinkles, craters really. And again, I just don't think Meghan has the faintest idea how to take care of herself. I mean, I'm not shaming her wrinkles. I'm sure I have more than her, but I'm also 20 years older. But I think that typically of many people I've come across in my life who did not grow up with lots of money, then as they age, they tend to think that expensive is good. But it is not always. You can honestly buy one of these anti-wrinkle creams with collagen, very important, vitamin C and vitamin E, for about, in South African currency, 50 to 60 rand, or then more or less $10-15. The thing is that, like everything else, sometimes you have to try a few things before you find something that really works. I found a cream with collagen and vitamin E does wonders for me if I can remember to put it on every day. But I promise you, I buy this, it's like a clear gel in a bottle because it lasts me about 6 months and it's not costly at all. But Meghan Markle will never buy that stuff because it does not have a brand name attached to it. Now let me tell you, the stuff I like best was under 50 rand with better results than something I was gifted by my sister ages ago, which sells retail for 307 rand. Anyway, Meghan needs far less peels and all kinds of shite and proper product and advice. Now, photo number 2, Meghan and supposed Lily walking to the beach. Number of people, including a Portuguese lady, told me that that is not Portugal. Now, I personally do not know any better, but I did go and look. There are 3 beaches near Milides, namely Santo André, Praia de Milides, and Praia da Comporta. The sandstone is indeed typical of these beaches, but I cannot find that particular view or those particular wooden railings. The closest I could find is this. Now, the sandstone and where you have to take a path down to the beach is indeed Comporta. The railings differ though, so I don't know. Also, she's dressed in a short summer dress and the poor kid is in long pants, as always. Then her shopping. Okay, I found the place. It's Au Milladens. I truly cannot tell which is the older picture. I've put 2 pictures, one from a travelogue and Meghan's one next to each other. But never mind, at least the place is in Milides. With Meghan you never know. However, I did look at a 2026 update on the restaurant. I mean, only inside photographs though, and of the actual food. And I was wondering whether perhaps this particular photograph was taken back in 2023 when they spent a few days there after the Invictus Games in Germany. Remember? Because it's changed a little on the inside. Now, okay, next, Archie, or supposed Archie, walking somewhere. Well, again, my Portuguese friend confirmed that it was not taken in Portugal. Now, she's lived there all her life, and judging by the trees and the grass, it is not Portugal. Okay, but now you see, Meghan is clever. She did not say it was. We assumed because she slotted this photograph in between 2 photographs of the Portuguese restaurant. And then my last question about this particular photograph is, what the heck is wrong with Archie's foot? Okay, now picture number 5 is the front of the restaurant. We've already spoken about that. Picture number 6 is Harry flipping Lily in the pool. Now, I have a few things to say about this, but the one thing I can say is I don't like it. I know people do it, and I know people have done so safely enough for years. But, my dears, it is dangerous. I personally saw a kid jump off a diving board at a municipal pool. So, not a 2-meter high diving board, okay? Anyway, he was trying to do a flip, landed on his neck, and he landed himself in a wheelchair. Even AI, however, is trying to cover for Harry and trying to tell me, oh, but this is different from a diving board, without even asking me how high the diving board was. So no, it is not really different. An unintended under or over rotation can result in hitting the water hard at an awkward angle, causing hyperextension of the neck, severe whiplash, and or disorientation. Now, I know this because my father was an ex-teacher and coached a variety of sport, swimming and diving included, and he hated people throwing children or even adults into a pool or flipping or throwing or shooting them off their shoulders into the water. My dad's rule was hands off. Let them jump or dive when they are ready. Anyway, this particular photograph was taken at their swimming pool at home. Remember, we saw the swimming pool before when Meghan published a photograph of Lily and Doria in the pool. It was just taken from a different angle. I will give you sort of a picture from the sky so you can see. Well, it indeed looks like the pool. The paving is the same. There are hedges at the other side. So it's obviously just taken from a different angle. Then she follows it with another beach photograph, which could have been taken anywhere, unless, of course, you are a sand expert and can tell the difference. Well, indeed, who cares? I'm not going to say anything about Meghan's body, and yes, I also wear flops or trainers on the beach and will only take them off to wet my feet. I am paranoid about stuff stupid people leave on beaches. Now, we grew up part of the year on the KwaZulu-Natal coast in a then small beach town called Belito, and many times we came home and I had to spend 15 minutes of my precious time with my feet soaking in warm water laced with disinfectant, because if there's one piece of glass or a rusty nail on the beach, I would step on it. I seldom walk barefoot in my own home, and neither really do my children. So I cannot be a hypocrite and criticize Meghan for that. Sorry. Now, I just wonder who, and I think that is the most interesting question about this particular photograph, who took the actual photograph? Was it Doria? Was it Marcus? Or was it the nanny? Okay. Now, number 8 is just a random photograph of cut lavender. Weird. Number 9, I think, is where the greatest controversy lies. It is supposed to be a photograph of Harry and Archie and Lily on their way to row to the island where Diana is supposedly buried. Now, I see many people are talking about AI and Photoshop and blah, 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 but I have a different problem with the photograph. I'll show you why. If you look carefully, you will see that the way from Althorp House to the little island on which Diana is supposedly buried on, I don't think she is, but anyway, the pathway is either a very neat and clear dirt path or asphalt or something, okay? You can go look for yourselves. The path to the lake is not grassy, nor is it flanked by blocked hedges. Now, I took a virtual tour of Althorp. There's also a video on YouTube taken by a drone of Althorp, okay? But nowhere could I find this particular spot where they were walking, not on Althorp. However, if you were to ask me my first guess as to where this was, I would guess Highgrove. Charles loves hedges in all shapes and sizes, and guess where there are blocked hedges like these? At Highgrove, of course. This exact spot, I believe, is at Highgrove. Again, Meghan did not say the photograph was taken at Althorp, did she? So the other thing which just does not look right is indeed Lily. In all the other photographs, Lily is a skinny but rather tall little girl. In this particular photograph, she again looks like a toddler. So, oy vey. But in any event, call me whatever you want. I'm placing an aerial photograph of Highgrove, and I believe this photograph was taken at Highgrove. Next photograph, some obscure lake or river. Number 11 is a photo of Archie in the cockpit of an aircraft. I mean, of course, why did it take so long? We all know by now that George is interested in planes and flying. I personally cannot identify the airline, so it just is what it is. And then the last photograph is of Meghan at the swimming pool at home. Someone argued with me about where it was, but it is definitely the swimming pool at home. The paving is the same, the wooden boxes to the side are the same, and so forth and so forth. I think she just swapped out the blue covers on the mattresses for beige ones. What more could one expect from her? And of course, Mamma Mia, the dog, is in the picture. No, it's not the dead dog. I know the difference between the two, and this is definitely Mamma Mia. I just cannot identify the people in the background, but who knows? They could be neighbors. So there you go, people. I really don't give much credence to any of it. Most of these photographs could have been taken anywhere, except for the two at the restaurant and the one which I believe is at Highgrove. Okay, I think that lane with the hedges and the chestnut trees are not at Althorp. But if it's not AI, then it is very likely at Highgrove, and I will indicate the spot on the photograph where I believe it is. And, I think it's very possible that Meghan may have sneaked that photograph with her phone or something as proof that they were indeed at Highgrove. Okay, my dear, so that is that. We're done with this. I really don't find it extremely important. Meghan tends to fiddle with her photographs and send all kinds of messages. Nothing new. Anyway, so until we meet on the next one, please take good care of yourselves, stay vigilant, and stay safe. Bye.